Audio on. Oh, Carol's there. Let me promote her. Good morning. Can you hear us okay?
Good morning.
Okay. We will, here, I'll take my Misha gavel for now, I guess. We are going to start this meeting, which is an emergency meeting of the Village of Ballston Board of Trustees. Let us please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Appreciate everybody joining us on short notice on this because of the timing of things going on tonight and also what the library board is in need of. We had to sort of fit this in this morning. Thank you to Bernadette and to Mary for kind of rearranging their own schedules to get here, and Carla as well. We will allow public comment. Carla, something that I did not include on this that I might want to put on as a walk-on. We did get a request, I saw it this morning from yesterday from Andrea Simmons, the librarian, asking for the village's assistance with respect to temporary unemployment benefits for library employees that don't have work to do at this point. Is there any resolution or anything or motion that we should be considering to enable me or HR in our village to sort of assist with that process, or something that would make it easier for them to be able to go to the state for something like that? Because obviously we support their needs right now if they are not going to get the income from their work.
No, there's nothing you need to do. I mean, they just go, they fill out the form, and then you don't object to it.
Okay, sounds good. Then I will not object to it. I assume that we're all on the same page on that, so we will let them know that. Okay, public comment is available for either of the two motions that are on the agenda, which I just, for those that don't have that, approving the attached proposal between Ambient Environmental Incorporated and the Village of Ballston Spa, and authorizing the mayor to execute the agreement that is related to the variance that needs to be developed for the library work to be done, especially because of the asbestos abatement involved. And also approving the usage of the engineering services of CT Mail Associates by the Planning Board and Zoning Board related to the Conifer Realty LLC application for 125 Bath Street, etc., and authorizing the mayor to execute the agreement after village attorney approval. Excuse me. It is noted that the cost will be borne by the applicant through a routine escrow process during review. That is related to Labella having a conflict in that matter that we'll talk about more during the discussion. But anybody have any public comment that they would like to raise? I see a hand up there. Marilyn, go ahead.
Yes, there is no agenda or public disclosure of what the business is today on the website, and I wondered where that is then. I've looked in both places, in both the calendar and in the trustees meeting agenda, and nothing's there. So where was that information posted for the public to review?
Okay, thank you. Liz? Hold on, you got actually allowed to talk. Liz, go ahead.
Yes, I agree with Marilyn there. There's nothing.
We still need a quorum for name and address and all that stuff. Marilyn?
Sorry, 45 West High Street, Ballston Spa.
Thank you, sorry about that.
12020.
You got it. Liz, go ahead.
Liz Cormos, 89 Hyde. I agree with Marilyn. There was nothing posted, so we have no idea what the motions are. If the library needs to sign a contract and that's the emergency, that's fine with me. But I don't see the emergency status of a contract with CT Mail on the Conifer project. They haven't even had their introductory meeting, which is scheduled for another week. I don't think this should be on the agenda to sneak it in here. What's the hurry? And that's my comments. Thank you.
Thank you. Jason, you had your hand up. Let me know if you still want to talk in public comment or if you want me to just bring you in during the library situation. Let me, there we go. Okay, we'll just go to the motions then. Can I get a motion approving the attached proposal between Ambient Environmental Incorporated and the Village of Ballston Spa and authorizing the mayor to execute the agreement?
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Price Bush, trustee Fandesa, discussion. This is basically a proposal that was already agreed to by the library board on Tuesday night. Without this, we can't get the variance done to get it over to DEC. This was actually noticed inside the notice as the purpose for a library, emergency library proposal and other business necessary. We'll explain the other business in a second and how that even came to be overnight. This is to make sure we can get the variance to the state because once we do that and get that approved, we can actually move forward with bidding work at that point in time. Carla, anything you want to add to that from the legal end of this?
No, you and I spoke about this, well, with the library board via email, and this is something that we have to get done for, the village has to get done for the variance, in order to get to move forward with any renovations for the library having to do with anything that had to do over there with the asbestos. So this is something that in the event that the village waited another couple of weeks, that just pushes it out further, and the library board had requested this board to move forward with this. I think you discussed this at a board meeting, like right after it occurred. But
Well, at least
legally, I reviewed the contract and I have no concerns.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, and we did talk about the need for the variance. We were still coming up with how and who and all that stuff. And at this point, Ambient's going to take care of the bulk of that as well. Anything else discussion-wise for us? All in favor?
Aye.
And aye, to make sure that we have three clear votes by voice. Opposed? Motion carries 3-0. We also, Carla, to answer your question, yes, if you look what I sent last night, the PDF, it's got the rate sheet attached to it. If you go to the last pages of it. I'll give you a half a second here. Did you see the rate sheet?
Yep.
Yeah. The board has the rate sheet. I'll say that much.
Okay,
No.
yeah, no.
In the PDF version, really?
PDF, all I have is from Ambient. The entire PDF is just Ambient.
I swear I sent that to you. However, I will re-forward it to you right now so you have
Okay.
that. Apologize, folks. Let's see. Include.
It was the last 2 pages after ambient.
Yeah, for some reason mine ends at Ambient. I can't.
That's weird. Okay, well, I just resent it in case, but it's a standard rate sheet, I'll be honest with you, comparable to what LaBelle's rate sheet is like.
Just for purposes of the meeting, go through the rate sheet,
Sure.
folks.
First, let
After
me
you talk about why you're doing this.
make a motion, or get a motion on the record. Can I get a motion approving the usage of the engineering services of CT Mail Associates by the Planning Board and Zoning Board related to the Conifer Realty LLC application for 125 Bath Street, et cetera, and authorizing the mayor to execute the agreement after village attorney approval. It is noted that the costs will be borne by the applicant through a routine escrow process during review. Trustee Fandesa?
Second.
Trustee Price Bush, discussion. Carla, why don't you get into why this even developed? This was late yesterday afternoon. You called me up and it started the wheels in motion because of a little bit of panic that was going through, but go ahead.
Sure. So the village designated attorney, Labella, it's very simple, actually. The village designated attorney was also the attorney and did environmental engineering work for the applicant, Conifer Park, with respect to the tannery project. It was discussed early on that the Labella, if they were to do village engineer work, they'd have to sign a conflict letter, which they did. They prepared and signed a conflict letter. It then they decided that it was too much of a conflict for them, and this is their decision completely, and advised the village last week that they were doing that. As such, the village went out to LaBerge Group to see if they would be willing as to be the village designated engineer on this project. The LaBerge Group yesterday afternoon told us that they were declining it due to their schedule, and the amount of work that's going to be involved here. So it was necessary to go out and obtain another engineer. My understanding is that CT Mail has agreed to come in as the village designated engineer on this project. The project itself, while the project is not on until June 11th, there is a voluminous amount of work for the project. And I believe it was the board's desire to have them on board, quote unquote, so to speak, before the June 11th meeting, first joint meeting with the ZBA and the planning board. And the reason that the mayor indicated he wanted this meeting was because we needed to get them on board to review all of the documents. The way it works with a village designated engineer in planning and zoning is that an escrow account is created and all village engineering fees are paid 100% by the applicant. So this will have no money coming from the village itself.
For those wondering, this is actually to protect the village and the village's interests ultimately, because the engineering firm works for the village, even though the compensation eventually comes from the applicant. This is the normal process of escrow, so that we are not paying for somebody else's application per se. Also, we are required to move expediently through an application process because of different laws out there to make sure that they get the process and the answers under the timeframes required by law. So just kicking meetings and everything else is not appropriate, because it could actually cause an accidental approval if that wasn't what ultimately the board wanted, if you violate certain timeframes inside that. So we want to make sure we are moving this forward in the normal manner. They've applied correctly with the building department. Building department has referred it to the planning board and the zoning board, and as Carla alluded to, currently the plan is to have a joint meeting between those two boards on June 11th. The informational next week that's been alluded to and I had pushed out is going to be fully in the control of the applicant, but they want to get community informational out there. So we're doing what we can in general just to make sure that folks know about it, and if we can get it recorded for those that can't attend, we will. We apologize, by the way, for the overlap date, but we made sure that somebody could attend that informational and also get to the BOA discussion at starting around 7 o'clock. The meat of the BOA situation will go on at 50 West High Street. So we're aware of that. Apologies, but unfortunately, again, we don't control that first informational session, and people had made travel plans not realizing that was existing. So that's their meeting, and thanks to them for sort of making sure it was timed in a way that we could still have the BOA without any conflict there. Any other discussion from this end? Okay, then all in favor?
Aye.
And aye, to make sure again, 3 votes. Opposed? Motion carries 3-0 to 2 missing or absent. Just for the record, trustees Raymond and Baskin are absent. We gave them an opportunity to give us the support for the motions in absentia, but they did not do so. They did object to the emergency nature of getting these things done. I don't think I'm misrepresenting the emails this morning and last night. We did, just for the record also though, state that, yesterday morning, made a request for the meeting and sent out the variance information to the board, and didn't get any response from either one of them until 10:30 last night and 7 a.m. or thereabouts this morning from trustees Raymond and Baskin, not in that order actually. So, okay, having done that, there's no need for executive session. Can I get a motion that the meeting be adjourned at, and not PM here, it's 8:15 a.m.
I'll make the motion.
Trustee Fondanza,
Second.
trustee Price Bush, discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
And aye, opposed, motion carries. Thanks, everybody. Carla, thank you, and we'll see you soon.